Oh, hi guys, a little different here. It's this outside. Yeah. So we're indoors today. Yeah, just a little chilly out there, and it's actually dropping. About every other hour or every hour it's dropping a degree. So by 5 o'clock it's supposed to be down to like 1 or 2, and the wind chill's like what, 15 below. So yeah, we're gonna work indoors for a minute. The ABCs of micro scrapping: aluminum, brass, and copper. Copper being pretty much the most valuable. Um, Little bits and pieces of brass. These are all brass. These are all non-magnetic. Okay, guys. Aluminum, and we got some foils and stuff that we can take off here. But what I understand is there's some little bits and pieces on here that have silver. Some little tips. So I got to research those. We're going to leave this together right now. It could be that one. It could be on the tips of them. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So I got to research that, but still there's aluminum there. So this is micro scrapping from electronics, phones, laptops, and any electronic junk. Anything you can take apart will usually have aluminum, brass, and copper in it. Anything that deals with electricity. So today I need to make some room. All this stuff that I'm doing are things that I've had over. These are all the phones. You've seen that picture. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 old phones. I was saving these for in case I needed a backup camera, because I didn't have a good camera at the time. Now that we have the good camera, we don't need that. So the problem with these is when they got newer, the old little flippy phony things were cool because you could just break them, unscrew them, take them apart, and you got the board and all the stuff in there. These are a little more difficult. You got that big glass cover. So a lot of times you could just break them, but then you end up with glass everywhere. So gloves, whenever you do these. We're going to do these. I'm going to show you guys, but I got to check 1 or 2 and see if I can get them apart without making a massive mess. So we're going to do a couple of the other things to show you guys that we got, and then we'll save these for the end. After I experiment a little bit with them. Why haven't I not? Because I've been busy. Trying to get some paintings up for you guys too. So it's all there. You know what I mean? This was an old shredder. Paper shredder. Put your paper in, comes out, all pieces. Yeah. I found it in the garbage. I had it for a couple years. Worked great. All of a sudden it stopped working. So now it's scrap. So let's start with this one. Get rid of all the plastic. The plastic does go in a container. All the steel that I get, I have a guy who comes around and picks up the steel. But wire, great copper. Some of these sometimes are brass, sometimes they're not. So I clip them and I throw them in a big barrel. Later on I'll go through them. The ones that are not brass will go into a container for, like I said, the scrap guy who comes around every once in a while. And he does the steel. I do the small stuff. So this will go into a tub, which I have a couple over here. This one needs done too. This was an old cord. Same thing. These look like they're probably aluminum or zinc more than likely. So yeah, like I said, those two will go into a container. Now we have some copper. Will I strip it? I may. See how fine it is? That's microscopic. So for me to take the time to strip this, I'm going to get a better price just leaving it like this. So when I get a big barrel container full, I'll take this in and get a lot better price this way. Now, I will show you guys. This is the stuff we want to strip, okay? I have a whole bunch in the garage, which will be the next one I'm coming up with. The stiff stuff. If it bends and stays, that's strippable. That's what we're doing. That's what this is. When you strip that down, that's bare bright. You'll get more money for that. $3 a pound. Yeah, it's worth it. The other stuff is like $1.85 or $1 something there. Don't quote me exactly. The stuff is changing daily. So yeah. The whole point of that is just watch for the best day price or the best month price, whatever it might be, and take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Let's see what we got in here. It's pretty sure these are gonna be Phillips. Yep. Let me pull the screws real quick. Okay, we got all the screws loose. Those there will go into a bucket. Those are all steel. Plastic. Ugh. Something was living in there. Now we see why it ain't working. Yeah. It got all clogged up by something. It looks like a tarantula crawled in there. These are more likely going to be sharp. Now something got up in there. Some dirt. And clogged the gears all up. Probably burned up. So yeah. So, one of these, have I ever done one? No. But we have copper. We have some brass tips. We have some wire. We have some copper again. These I don't know. Let's grab a little magnet here and see if they're... them are steel. So we aren't going to want any of that. That'll go into the steel bucket. Oh, and these are amazing. I'll show you where we get them from. You can screw these to the wall. Stick your tools to them. And they're free in your electronics. So yeah, guys. Let's see what's holding this together here. Okay, that's easy. That's easy. That's easy. Looks like we just got 2 Phillips down there. And a couple little there. In the middle. Otherwise, yeah, all we want is this. The rest of this is going in the trash. We're gonna find out how to disconnect that. Find out what that is. Let's throw a little tip on here. Oh, Phillips tip. See if we can get these out. Yep. Okay. Yep, that's just our board for our thing, but it does look like it's copper board. Let's clip all these real quick off of this. Pull you. Bam. Transfer cord or wire. What holds you on there? That. Okay, so we got these screws here are holding all the gears and stuff together. So let's get rid of our wire here. I'm not positive these are copper, but we're hoping they are so we can cut the tips off. So we're going to check them. So that's why we're saving them. More likely than are brass. They are. So those will go in our brass bucket. Boom. Where'd the other one go? There you are. Boom. Now we got some more wire. We don't want plastics or any foreign things in there. Even though our copper does run to the very end of that, we can splice that apart later. So that'll go with the tips. This here board. Let's just disconnect. Now what I can do is I could heat this up, break all that solder, and I'd have a clean piece of copper there. Break the switch off. This goes into a bucket for later. Let's break it open and see what's in there. There might be some, yep, they're there. That's steel. That switch. But see all of them? That's micro copper. Springs? No. But more than likely them are brass. Let's see, do they stick? Nope, them do. Spring did, but that didn't. So we got some brass there. And we got some more copper in there, so we're going to break them apart. Our wire. Same with this. Guys, this ain't going to make you rich, but all this, the bits and pieces can add up pretty quickly. You're not, the more electronics you have, I mean, clean out the house. We're getting, we go through electronics like mad in this world. There's too much of it just being thrown in the trash. The thing is, right now our governments are basically taking this stuff and sending over to another country. They process it and then send us back a check for all this kind of stuff. We need to get more of it here and stay here, so that we're not paying so much transport and all that stuff. Recycle, reuse. If we did more of that and better processing and better prices and more money, we could do, our country could do a lot more with things, honestly. I just noticed a couple of screws right here. If I take them, but we're going to try to get these here apart and see what comes apart of this here. When I pull that, there's more to that somewhere. There's another one. We didn't see you. A lot of things are just take the screws apart and they fall apart. I mean, you gotta remember this was put together by somebody else too. I mean, but just always wear gloves and protection for your eyes and things like that when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. Because you just never know. You know what I mean? You just never know. You don't want something flying up, smacking you in the face. Full protection across your face wouldn't hurt. But do what you feel safe for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see, do we need our... Oh, the other one's under there. Okay, we just need a screwdriver then. Get rid of this guy. Hopefully. Oh, he don't want to go anywhere. He's like, I want to stay here with all my grease. Well, you and your greasy buddy gotta go. So, this isn't the best to do, but it gave me access. See there? Now we can take this. Oh, can we get in there and get a bite? There we go. And this goes to the steel guy right here. This goes to the scrap. This weighs some. Let me tell you, that's got some weight to it. He definitely will appreciate that one. You got a couple pounds right there. This here. All we're looking for is that copper in there, but we're not going to do all that right now. I'm just going to show you guys a quick little process here, what you're actually looking for, okay? You're going to get rid of all that. There's some nice carbon, though. See this? That pops out. Bam. Bam. Take these. You get rid of this. Cutters. I'm just showing you guys who's never done it, okay? This is for the people who's never had a chance to do this. Gonna cut away them. And get rid of extra plastic. Same here. My cutters get in there. Yes. Boom. Okay. I'm going to try my best to show you guys here if I can. These are probably very easy. I mean, it's not taking no effort. Sorry, guys. I forgot I moved my camera. Let me move it back down this way some more. Yeah. Get you guys a better view. My hands are in the way anyhow. So, I'm going to get my other camera set up over here on this side, so you guys can get a better angle on this way. I just want to start this, but then now I'm all involved, and yeah. But watch. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, guys, the video cut out on me. My thing was full. Go figure. We got some copper out of there. These were in that. This. I just finished pulling the other side out with the screwdriver. Took all the bits of tape off of it. Yeah, they were all messy and get sticky and gooey and yeah. And now we got some really nice Bear Brite copper for our collection. And there's quite a bit of weight in that, believe it or not. This is just the beginning, so I'm going to show you guys at the end of how much of all the stuff that we do, what we collect at the end. This here also, all I do is take this out, beat it with a hammer. These are all copper. Cut these out. There's some gluey stuff in there, but all I'd have to do is see if these are actually copper, or sometimes these are aluminum. So that's where you're going to want to check before you go busting it all apart. And the way you do it with a file, or nope, they're copper. It looks like all the way through. That looks like it's solid, still copper. So I'll know when I get these. Normally I throw these in a bucket and set them aside, and then just sit and terrorize them all at once. We got some wire, which we'll add to a bucket, and we're just going to accumulate all the wire that we collect. We got some more little copper in here that we're going to clean up and break apart. I don't know what's in here yet, but we're going to open that and we'll see later when we do some of the computer stuff. There could be some silver in there, there could be some gold, some copper, we don't know. So we're going to just set that aside for now until we can rip it open and see what's in there. Could be nothing. So let's get something. Then we have our pile of steel. This will go to the steel guy. I'll throw the garbage away, but he's got a nice chunk there, nice chunk there. All this will go into a bucket for him, or a big tub. Actually, it's a big tub I have. So yeah, I'll put all them in the tub. Once it accumulates enough that I can drag it outside, out to the front, then I just put it out there and he takes it. So we all benefit from it. So that's just that little bit from that. Okay, we got not a bad brass. Nice, probably almost a pound there, half a pound. And we got our aluminum from our other stuff. But this wire will just go into a pile. This is number 2 wire, so it may even be number 3, but we'll see at the end how much we get. Let's go on to the electronics, the computers, the gold. Okay, guys. This came from an old computer that I had laying around. I just had it set aside, and I realized we could do this to start with, and I could show you guys some quick stuff. Fan. Most of these still work. You can hook these to a battery or batteries, and you can use these for all kinds of projects. As far as the motors and stuff, they're definitely not worth it. But for a fan for other projects, cool. Circulating air, cooling down something you want to keep cool down. You know, you can put this up to a tube and do amazing things with it. Filtration system, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Recycle, reuse, wire. So let's get the drill right here real quick. First thing is always take all the screws out of everything. That's what I do. I don't mess around. I just start taking screws out. I see a lot of scrappers sit and start breaking things apart. I worked in factories before. Most of the time, this stuff was just slapped together, and some guy just with a screw gun, it's like, and that's all he did. I mean, you get each of these parts in a bucket, in a container, and there we go. What's connecting you? This. Oh, we got a screw, of course. And when it don't come out, you pretty much 90% of the time miss the screw. Ta-da! Okay. This pretty much is steel, I'm sure. Garbage, but a nice filter for my... Now I have a filter. If I want to use that and connect it to something for my paint, for anything. Recycle, reuse, guys. But the rest of this is junk. Just to show you guys, that's steel. That's going in the pile of steel. That goes to the steel guy. Now we want these pieces, aluminum. Like I said, the ABCs is what we're looking for. We got a chunk of copper. We got some more screws. Let's see what these come out. Take off. Anything? Did that do anything to anything? No, it did not. Looks like the rest is just break. See this board? It's tan. Yeah, tan boards, pretty priceless. Or useless, is what I'm trying to say. Thank you. Not priceless, useless. Good junk. Oh, that's why they're not coming out. There's little nuts in there. So we want to get rid of this guy first. So we get out the RoboGrip and we just set her to the size we need it to be. Grab a hold of hand. We're going to twist and twist and twist and twist and twist. Get a better grip. I'm trying to be gentle. I don't want to make a big mess. There we go. Because we're crushing that centerpiece at the same time. There we go. Okay. That's pretty heavy, but there's probably a big magnet in there. So, now we can get all them screws here that are holding our big chunk of aluminum on. Use them come right off. But today it does not want to. So we have another transformer right here. Let's see if we can get him out. You know what? I was going to be nice to you, but we're not now. Now we're just going to de-junk this. Now, anytime you see this white pasty stuff, guys, don't stick your finger in that. It's some gooey stuff. Oh, that one came out pretty good. Yeah, that stuff there. It's just a, I think it's a, it keeps things from bonding together, I think. You know what I mean? Sticking together. Now, these more than likely are probably steel. We don't want them on our, yep. See, this piece, no magnetic. These pieces, magnetic. So we got to reduce this guy down to grip these so we can peel and serve. Ta-da! Them rivets. If we have to. No, those were aluminum. Awesome! Nice big chunk of aluminum. We got another big chunk, and we got some copper here. Got copper there. Back to big. Twist and open. I said try to be careful and not make a big mess. I mean, I could just rip this right up out of here and make a big old mess, but we don't want to do that. Let's get these bad boys out. Clip, clip, clippity clip. Get rid of you. You go inside there. Which comes out there. Some junk. These are connected in there. Same with them. So we're gonna snip you off. Snip you off. See how things go flying? That's what I say I'm trying not to do. I don't want to be picking this stuff up for days. We're gonna turn you into the wire bucket. Now those all can be broke up at once. Now we can get to these guys here. And it's just a little nut on the back. One of these darn things. Holding that on there. Saying, I don't want to come off yet. So we gotta convince it and say, we would like for you to come off of there. If you would. Oh, that one didn't fully understand or get the memo. There we go. By George, we got it. Pop that back through. Same thing here. Try not to get all gooey and messy or scrapey that off. I just wipe it inside of my box. Well, that one's hard. Good. That's like a silicone. Okay, tabs gotta come off. Got these. Pull tabs off. And yes, guys, this can be messy, but we got some nice clean aluminum right there. Another big chunk for our bucket. Now we got some more wire here. Put this. Clip. More wire. Clippity clip. Clip. De-sleeve it. Plastic. This have tape. Looks like it. Yeah, I just had some tape on, black tape. Well. Okay, throw that in the pile. piece in the pile. That has some wire in it. Anything with the yellow wrapping, same with these. Let's get our roller grips and crunch, pull. Same over here. These one day I'm going to sit and take apart and see what's in them. Another little chunk of aluminum. Oh, hey, you ain't getting away yet. It tried to. But we say, no, you don't do that. You're going in the cup. We need access to the bolt on the back. See the little bolt back there? Yeah, nut. This is when we get that little tiny screw out. Then we get our motor adjustments. Then we take you, clean you, scrape you. All this I clean up at the very end with something. Aluminum. We had a little tiny piece of wire. But this, we would just put in a bucket and work on later for all these other things or sewery thingies, and yeah. That goes into another world. Okay, guys? Same here. Nothing there worth bothering with. Some more wire. Okay, guys, out of that, we got some hefty chunks of aluminum. We got some bits of wire, which, like I said, it all adds up eventually. And then some copper, which we're going to take all that apart, take all them apart, take all them apart. All these consist of is smack it with a hammer. It comes completely apart, unwinds your copper, and your copper separate from there. Same with this thing, peel your tape back, smack it, there's just a weight in there, and then peel your copper. Or you can take and cut through this. If you got a little saw, hacksaw or something, you can cut through there and it'll peel right out really easy. Same with this one, smack with a hammer, boom. So yeah, that's what we just got of that little piece right there that we had, just that little engine-y thing, or whatever the heck it was. I don't even know what they call that from a computer. But yeah, this right here alone, I mean, it's worth it. You can hear it. Yeah, that tells you how heavy it is. And this, we're going to end up filling our copper cup up really quickly, just at this rate. So we'll probably end up with a couple pounds at the end, plus all this wire that we're building up. This, the other wire, I mean, it's coming, it's building up.